Please click the subscribe button to empower us to continue making more video. Thank you very much.
Now, at this point, you would have already created your first Facebook ad, okay? And preferably that you run at least 3 advertisements at any given time, so that instead of just putting 1-2 advertisements where Facebook would, I would say, it's either a hit or miss, at least with 3 advertisements, Facebook would be able to rotate them and pick the best winner of them all. So at this point, you can create 3 different Facebook ads, all images, or you can do a mix of images and videos. So for example, you can have 2 images and 1 video running at a time. And in this particular training, what I'm going to do with you right now is that I'm going to show you a very simple but an exciting tool as well, that you can use a built-in video maker within Facebook Ads Manager, and that's pretty wonderful. Okay, now when it comes to creating video ads, it is a big topic in itself, and you might be getting ideas that, okay, I need to shoot a video on my phone, I need to do some post-production and things like that, which could be quite an open-ended thing and maybe fit for another course. But with that said, I want to stick to Facebook ads right now, and I want to show you a simple way for you to create your own video ads with an available tool within Ads Manager itself. And this is something that takes only a couple of minutes or a few minutes of your time, and it's dead simple. All right, so what we're going to do right now is that we are here on the 3rd step in creating the Facebook ads. So I'm just going to cut the chase here, and at the top here we're going to give it a name. So I'm just going to call it video 1. It's totally up to you, whatever name you want to call it. And I'm just going to assume that this is your Facebook page and your Instagram account. We'll just leave it be. When we go to the bottom here, create ad, we'll click on single image or video. We'll leave it at that. And you will notice that you have an option of adding media, or you can create a slideshow or create video. Now, even though this both might sound different, but I would say that this still leads to the same result, where we're going to create animated slides. Okay, so despite the different sounding of the name, you're actually given 2 types of category of templates. Okay, so let's just click on create slideshow, and as you can see here, there are templates for you to choose from. All right, and if you go to click on create video, it's pretty much similar as well, but they have different types of templates going on. All right, and that's pretty good. So with that said, I'm just going to click on create slideshow. What I want to say is that they all lead to pretty much different types of templates for your videos. So what this does is that you can put in any images that you want. You can add in the text and change a little bit of customization, especially on the text colors, and off we go. All right, so you can see here that there are different types of previews, different types of videos that you can animate the images on. So I'm just going to take a random one right now. Okay, maybe I'll just go with this one. All right, something simple. Okay, let's just say this is my video ad of choice. I'm going to click on continue, and it's broken down into scenes. Okay, so we can choose an image for each of them. Okay, I'm going to click on this one, and you can choose any images that you already have in your account, or you can just upload, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so there we go. If you want to do a preview, you can click on the play button on the right and see what comes out. Okay, and then there's the second scene. You can add in another picture again. Yeah, okay, it's kind of random, but I'm just proving a point to you. And you can actually add a text. Okay, so for example, I'm just going to call it Master Social Media Marketing. Now, I want to give you a heads up that one of the bad things about doing this built-in video maker is that the text is pretty limited in the number of characters. So you want to make sure that you know what you're writing here. Okay, so if it's hard to read, you can click on background color, and you can even change the opacity, which means the transparency, and it'll look a little bit better as well. You can change the text color as well if you would like to. Just you can add in a color code, or you can use this color picker. All right, so I'm just going to go with white. I think it's good enough. You can even change the font, and I think this is slightly generous, although not that many, but still works. You can even position where you want the text to appear. All right, pretty cool. Let's say if you want this to appear in the middle, that's fine as well. So let's play this video again. There we go. All right. And scene number 3, you can add in another image as well. I'm just going to add another random one. And there we go. All right. So we can add another text. Normally, when it comes to the last scene, I will always like to make it a call to action. Click here to download now. All right. Again, you might see it's a bit hard to see. We click on background image color, and there we go. You can even change the text color as well. All right. Let's say this is what we want. Put this in the middle. Change the font if you want. Okay, this looks better. And yes, let's play it one more time. So guys, can you see how simple this is? All right. Now, of course, I know this was done rather simply in terms of the pictures. I'm just using this as an example to show you. And let's click continue. And what happens here is that you're going to review it. And this is what will appear in probably an Instagram story. And we'll click on use video. So what's going to happen right now, it's going to take a couple of minutes for the video to get rendered. And I'll tell you what, talk to you when this is done. Alright, so that took a couple of minutes and we are practically done with the video, and that's it. Alright, so the rest looks familiar to you. This is the part where we add in the text, the headline and the description, which I'm not going to repeat here right now, but I just want you to know that it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, I'll tell you what, maybe just give me a couple of a few seconds. I'm going to just do this part really quick. And there we go. Alright, so I know I pretty much skipped that part a little bit because this was already covered in a previous video, but I just want to show you that this is how the Facebook ad would look like when you put this with a video. Okay, so I'm just going to play this again, which I know this is a very quick work. I guess when you choose your pictures and you choose your words wisely, then it's going to pan out rather nice. Okay, but as you can see, it took me no software or third-party app to do this. You don't really need sound or music for that matter, because most people normally watch in private, maybe outside on a mobile data, and they pretty much get the idea. And I have some winning advertisements that are based on a video ad so simple, so do not discount that. Okay, so once we're done, we'll click on review and we're pretty much done. Okay, we just click save the draft. And what we're going to do is make sure that this is in publish status. So be sure that you click on publish, and this will enter into a review state by Facebook. And there we go. That took several seconds. We are practically done. Okay, and if you check out the delivery status, it's in review. And if you look at some of the previous advertisements, it's all learning. That means it's currently active. Okay, so yeah, now you know how to create image ads and you know how to create video ads.
Please click the subscribe button to empower us to continue making more video. Thank you very much.
No Facebook advertising training is complete without reviewing how the advertisement campaign is going to be like in the next few days. So if you have followed all the training up until now, I just want to say congratulations, you have been taking action. And still, what is uncertain is what's going to happen in the next few days after you launch a Facebook ad campaign. And I'm going to show you how I take a look at my Facebook ad campaigns. How do I decide which one's winning, which one we should kill off, and what do we do after that? And this is something that a lot of marketers don't really teach in their training, or maybe they kind of reserve it for the next level of training. Okay, so with that said, I'm taking a look into one of these simpler accounts right now. Even though the conversion rate or the currency is in Malaysian ringgits, that's not important right now, because this can be in US dollars, it can be in pounds, it can be in euros, it's still the same thing. Okay, now this campaign is a purchase conversion. That means we are doing a direct sale from FB to a sales page. All right, and one thing you want to take a note of right now is the window of time. So at the top right, this is currently at today's date, and if you click on the top right pull down, you can see what happened yesterday, the last 7 days, or last 14 or last 30 days, or whichever window you want to do, or you can even do a custom range as well. Okay, now if you take a look at today, you can see that there had been 3 purchases with a return on ad spend of 2.88, which is pretty healthy. All right, to me, anything above 2 is pretty good. If you get higher than that, then it's even better. It's not uncommon for people to get a rather high ROAS or return on ad spend. All right, so here's the thing. One of the common mistakes that beginners make, or they kind of chicken out, is that when they don't see results in the next one day or the next few hours, or they spend a little bit of money, then they chicken out. All right, so you don't want to be making that mistake, and you got to give Facebook some time to not only understand your offer, you got to give it time to learn about it and show your advertisements to enough people. All right, and on a human level as well, you know, sometimes people have not heard about you before. They might not warm up to you just yet, and don't be surprised that normally for a lot of campaigns that get started, it doesn't do well. Okay, if you do well initially, then more power to you. But I want you to know that even on an expert level where people are making millions of dollars, they will always tell you the same thing, where the first campaign usually doesn't perform very well. And this is where you need to tweak and be patient. All right. So as a rule of thumb, I normally tell people to run their advertisements for at least 3 to 4 days at the very least. Okay. That means give it a time, run for 3 days on a budget of 5 to 10 USD a day. If you can put in a little bit more, that's up to you. But 5 to 10 USD a day, let it run for 3 to 4 days. All right. There are some people that will run it for a week before making a decision. But right now, I'm just going on a bare minimum at the moment. And let's just say this has been running for the last 4 days. All right. So I'm just going to put this in the last 4 days. And as you can see here, this campaign is doing a 3 times return on ad spend, which is pretty good. All right. But tell you what, let's go to the ad set level. And I'm going to share with you what is my mindset when it comes to continuing the advertisement or not. Okay, so on an ad set level, this is step number 2. We're going to see that not all of them had actually performed. Like for example, if you look at this ad set which was already turned off. Okay, so I had turned this off earlier. You can see that this has ran for maybe I think like almost 3 days, and it got no results. Okay, so I turned this off initially. All right. Now, we have another 4 more ad sets that are performing right now. And if you look, take a look at this one, this is doing a return on ad spend of below 1. Now, some people might give this a chance, but let's just say you've decided that anything below 1 is practically you're losing money, okay? Because I spent $77 here, I've only made 67, so I'm losing $10. Again, it's up to you at this point. Do you want to still give it a chance? It's okay, but let's just say we've given this enough time. I'm gonna turn this off. All right. So it means that this targeting is not doing well, whereas the others are. Okay. Now this is doing really good. This is doing good as well. And as for this one, okay, this has only ran for a day because this was newly created, so it's fine. I'm gonna give it maybe 2 or 3 more days. All right, to perform. Whereas as for this two is doing good. I'm just going to continue. All right. Now, let's take a look at this particular ad set. So I'm going to check this box. And even though it's got 7 purchases, let's take a look at the advertisements right now. So there's a minimum of 2 advertisements running right now. And the winner here is video number 2. And the myth about Facebook ads is that people think that if you're giving it $100, it's going to distribute 50-50, and that's not true. All right. So what normally happens in the next few days is that you're going to see something a bit more disparaging, where more money gets funneled into this than the others. Okay. Now this is a little bit more even at the moment, but I want you to know that typically the ad spend will be quite lopsided, where maybe more would go into this and a lot less into this one. All right. So in this case, I might consider turning off this advertisement because it's not doing as well as the other one, or rather Facebook prefers this advertisement. So what happens here is that I can choose to turn this off right now, and right now I will be running only 1 ad. Again, if you have watched my previous videos, we do not want to be running only 1 ad. In fact, you should have a minimum of 3 advertisements. But when I did this, this was done in a rather hurry. So you want to create 2 more advertisements to compete against this current winner. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much my mindset when it comes to split testing, when it comes to finding the winning advertisement. And again, I think by now you have found out that it's not so much about finding the audience anymore. I think finding the audience is not a problem nowadays, thanks to Facebook's really smart learning machine. But what is your message? Okay. In fact, if we take a look at it right now, you might notice that I always talk about the cost per result, or the results like purchases in this case. If you want to take a look at the other metrics like click-through, all right, this is doing above 1% easily. So people are clicking on the advertisement. They are interested, all right? Click-through in bracket all. This is supposed to be double of this amount at the very least. So you can see it's very, very well, okay? Number of clicks is not really a lot just yet, 45, but we can tell that the sales copy is converting. Cost per 1,000 impression, if you're targeting the US or tier 1 countries, you're considered pretty good if you're doing $40 or below. If you're targeting Southeast Asian countries or maybe third world countries, $10 US or below will be pretty good. So this, if I convert, this is more like 5 USD, which is very good again, all right? So these are pretty much healthy stats. I turn off this advertisement because this is not performing after like 3 to 4 days, and I would come up with another 2 more advertisements to compete with this one, all right? So a minimum of 3 advertisements at any given time. I would say if you want to go for more, a maximum of 5. I don't recommend anything more than 5 because anything more than 5, Facebook will struggle to look for the winning advertisement, okay? So yes, that is my mindset when it comes to split testing, when it comes to tweaking a campaign and optimizing for that matter. And I'm just going to double back a little bit to the ad sets here. You might notice that I had turned off 2 ad sets. Doesn't mean we're just going to stick with this 3. If you want to spend a bit more money, you can create another ad set and run some more advertisements. You take care.
Please click the subscribe button to empower us to continue making more video. Thank you very much.
What's up everyone, Admin here, and we're coming to the final parts of the training already. Now before we get started, I want to make sure that you have already followed through on all the past weeks training in Facebook advertising, and more importantly that you have already taken action. And how do we know that? Is that you have already started running ads on your own. So the purpose of this whole module is to show you how Facebook advertising can be optimized and can be tweaked along the way. So in this video, we're going to talk about removing the losing ads and keeping the winners, and how to split test or how to tweak your advertising further. So right off the bat, I'm going to show you an example of one of our clients. And this is a rather unique client because we had picked up an aesthetic clinic and we're running a lead generation campaign for them. So whether you're selling your own digital product or you're selling your own e-commerce product, or even run a lead generation campaign to a service, whether it's your own or other people's, that's okay. It's pretty much the same mindset and mentality. And I think this just goes to show how versatile Facebook advertising can be. Now, what you're seeing here right now is a lead generation campaign for the aesthetic clinic, and this is one of the ad sets. And you'll see here, this is ran for pretty much a half of the month actually. And we started off originally with a video campaign. So that means there were no other image ads, it was just a video. This was running initially because we were having problems with the client providing images for us to use. So we just ran our own version of the video. And this was getting okay. It was getting about 3 leads for its duration, and it was getting about $10 per lead. Now this could have been better, even though it's still profitable, because this aesthetic clinic is clearly selling a high-ticket service where their clients would eventually enroll into a yearly package or a semi-annual package. That's okay. We know that they're going to make money, but of course we were not satisfied with the results. We wanted it to be better, and then we started to introduce 2 more image ads. Now take note that this was going to a Chinese speaking market, but the mindset remains the same. The way you write the ads, whether it's in English or another language, is still pretty much the same. So we added 2 more image ads in a while, probably a couple of days later, and then we have all 3 ads running. So there's 2 image ad and 1 video ad. And we notice that we can see the stats here that this Chinese image ad number 1 was generating 6 leads, and the cost for acquiring the lead was a lot cheaper. It's like 1/3 the cost, $3.41. Wow. Okay, and then if you notice this other Chinese ad in image form here, now this didn't generate any lead at all. All right, now you might notice that even if you run it for a good 4 to 7 days, normally that's what I like to do. You want to run it for 4 to 7 days. Some people have this habit of quickly making a decision after 24 hours or 48 hours. Now that's just rubbish, all right? When you do Facebook advertising, it should be a long-term game. And if you want to clearly see the winning ads and the losing ads, you should give it at least 4 to 7 days. Now, 4 being the fastest, 7 being the most ideal. You don't want to be changing up ads or making a decision so quick in the next 24 48 hours, because you need Facebook to give it some time to rotate the ads and test out which one works. So how do you know which one's the winning ad and losing ad? Now there's no clear cut way, but there's a few indications I look at strongly. Number one, when this was running for almost a week, we noticed that even though there were only 3 ads to rotate, the most of the spending went into the first image and still in the Chinese video, but by virtue of the fact that this has been running much earlier, so that's why the ad spend was higher, all right? But you notice Chinese image 2 was spending only $2.96, all right? Now this is Facebook's way of telling you that it has a preference of running the other 2 ads. So when you see that the ad spend is a lot less for one couple of ads and it seems to heavily prioritize the other, it's kind of Facebook's way of telling you that these ads are more preferred than the other one. So that's one very strong indication already. So actually based on this alone, I would have turned this off already, all right? So that's one really good indication. Another one, if you want to take a look at, I like to look at cost per 1,000 impressions. Now, ideally, I like to keep it $10 or below. Sometimes in some market, it can get a little bit higher than that, but that's okay. I try to keep this below $10 per CPM or cost per 1,000 impressions. So you can see here, all of this are doing pretty good. They're all below $10, all right? Click-through rate, I try to keep it 1% and above, ideally, but so I think this is slightly okay. I'll still keep it that way. And if you notice, image ad 1 and video ad 1, they were getting more clicks. Now, if you see why the video has more clicks, because like I said, this ran earlier, but if they ran about the same time, then I think it would be pretty much a draw, okay? Now, if you notice that there are less clicks for image 2, so again, another reason why I turned this off, and you can see that most importantly, these 2 ads were generating leads. Now, the video one was costing more than usual, and this was wanted, but I still kept both running because sometimes it's more like a reminder behavior that some people like to click on video ads and watch. Some people like to just see the image and just get straight to the point. Surprisingly, for a lot of my campaigns, my image ads convert the best, but I will not discount video because videos for a couple of my campaigns, they were doing very great. So ideally, you want to have both image and video. You don't just want to depend on one. All right. So this is one of the just some of the ways you can actually test out and see which was the losing ad, and then you turn it off. Okay, I don't recommend deleting it because I like you to have a record of what's going on. So don't delete this kind of ads, just turn it off. All right. And then when you have these 2 ads left, if you want to continue split testing, which I recommend you to do until you're happy with the results, then you can start adding in more images or more ads for you to test out. However, I will not recommend that you test more than 5 in a row, because even if you have a large ad spend, Facebook is going to struggle to rotate the ads because there's just too many ads to choose from. And if you're playing on a small budget, then the problem will be even more apparent. So normally I would keep it about 3 to 5 ads to split test at any given time. Just like this one, it was 3 ads. Okay, so maybe I'll just show you another example. Let's take a look at the English ad, which is pretty much the same thing. This is targeting the English speaking market. So you can pretty much see that they are the same ads, just that it's written in English this time. Okay, and again, if you notice, now although this campaign had ended, because this was running for only 2 weeks for the client, if you notice that this was running at pretty much about the same time, and a lot of the ad spend was going towards the video version. All right. And if you look at the leads form here, if I were going to turn off any of this, I'd probably turn off this particular one here, image 1, because this get only 2 leads, and those get a little bit more as well. But I like this image 2 over here in this case, because this is generating 4 leads and at a cost of only what, $2.24. This is pretty good. All right. But of course, like I said, you want to look at a few factors before you decide which one you want to turn off. There's no hard and fast rule. Ultimately, you should keep the profitable ad and the one that's getting you results. Sometimes the cost per lead can be slightly higher than usual, but if it's getting you results and you have a way of covering and profiting that through your funnels, then more power to you. All right. But between these three ads here, I'd say the image 2 is the winner. If I were to turn off any of the ads here, probably the image 1, since very little ad spend is going here. Or rather, this is actually still okay. All right. Probably add in another video in this case. Okay, so that's really all there is to it. I'll be putting up a PDF version of this whole split tasking and optimizing so that you have a clearer picture. And all the best in your Facebook marketing success.
Please click the subscribe button to empower us to continue making more videos. Thank you very much.